So I'm excited to present today on how Waystar empowers cross-functional programs. So a little bit about myself. My name's Joe Tichenor, or Joe Totango. I've been with Waystar for 8 years now, and previous I had no experience in the healthcare industry. And so I'll talk a little bit about what we do at Waystar. But I started in support and really got into the technology and learning it and supporting our clients, and moved more into our implementation and implementing our hospitals and health systems, just like our enterprise clients. And then I joined our client success management team in 2017. And after 3 years being a CSM, we created the Insights team. And the Insights team is similar to CS Ops. We serve as the owner of our client's aggregated voice of customer and value performance experience for our CSM and executive leadership team. We created that mission statement a few years back, and I think we've really started to do a lot more in that space and how we've actually, put in our reach out with the rest of the organization, and we'll talk about that today. So one, yes, we do all things Totango. Our team, I think, hears from me often about Totango, and they started giving me the nickname as Joe Totango. We were out and had an Insights meeting earlier in the year to talk about goals and objectives, and it coincided with a leadership meeting in Atlanta. So we went out for dinner one of the nights, and our leadership team joined, and I hadn't met our CEO yet, but he came, and our team thought it'd be fun to introduce me as Joe Totango. So our CEO now knows me as Joe Totango. So outside of that, we support our CSMs in a number of workflow-related initiatives, and so that includes voice of customer, NPS, and our product feedback mechanisms. We manage our reference program, and we do a lot with our analytics tool, reporting and dashboards, and really support our CSMs with that and how we can prove value to our clients through our reporting and analytics. So today, I think big thing, we're wanting to see cross-functional engagement. And so I want to talk to you all through who we are as Waystar and our client success team. And then really our journey to using technology to leverage that cross-functional engagement. So we'll talk through creating a framework for success and how we did that at Waystar. Building client success universal programs. We really drove the idea of universal programs. We'll talk through a little bit about how Waystar does a lot of acquisitions, and we bring in new team members and new CSMs, and we need to really show that value of universal workflows where they might think, oh, this is Totango and it's meant for this other company, and we do our own thing. So we really had to show that value and communicate that so we can drive user adoption. And then lastly, we'll talk through leveraging that technology to drive that cross-functional engagement. So Waystar and Client Success Overview. If you aren't familiar with Waystar, we offer end-to-end revenue cycle solutions to healthcare providers. And these solutions are built on cloud-based platforms with the newest and most efficient technologies. And since about 5 years ago, in an initial merger, we created this mission statement, and I love it. We simplify healthcare payments so our clients and partners can focus on their goals, patients, and communities. And if you're familiar with healthcare space in our country now, it's really a mess. And it's tough on our providers, it's tough on our patients. And so we want to deliver world-class technologies to really make a better experience for the patients and for the providers. And so they're not worrying about their revenue as much. They can focus on their clients or focus on their patients and their goals in their communities. So we house 40% of US patients in our database. We process over 2.5 billion transactions annually, and we've had 20 years plus of industry experience. And so we pride ourselves on knowing and understanding healthcare, and so that's why we have over 500,000 providers and over 1,000 hospitals, health systems, and they've trusted us with their claims processing and their revenue cycle needs. And you can see here our values, and that's one thing we've done too, is really put that in our forefront. Every company meeting we have, we focus on this, and I think it's really transformed our culture and really helped us drive customer success in our company. So building Waystar from the ground up. 2017 I came from the legacy Zermed side, and we were merged with a company called Navicure. And since then, we have made more acquisitions. We wanted to simplify payments for our clients, and so we needed to become a leader in the industry. And so we've made a lot of acquisitions to add leading predictive analytics capabilities to our portfolio. One thing that we're doing, and our competitors are doing this, they're adding strategic acquisitions, but they haven't been able to do what we are doing and integrating that into a single platform. And so all of our hospital health systems, our providers' needs, all in a single login and all there in one platform. Still working on that as we're bringing in these companies such as Recondo, eSolutions, and Connets. And our latest one is Patient Co. Really excited about them. This gets us more into the patient space. They're a leading provider of patient payments, communications, and engagement software. So you can see here what makes us unique. All commercial and government payers and patient payments on a single platform. Industry best technology, great user experience, and proven ROI. So client success focus areas. In client success, we execute with fanatical focus on client satisfaction, growth, and retention, and passion for our team members. So we've really made that the pillars of client success. So all of our goals and initiatives are tied to one of these three around satisfaction, client satisfaction, growth, and retention. And then we also have certain CSM directors that are assigned with these specific pillars, and we drive a lot of our initiatives through that. CSM principles, and so this is basically our expectations of our CSMs. Embed high-quality talent. Be able to drive and measure ROI and value. Identify proactive insights. Share best practices. And I think this is one of the most important ones, act as a trusted advisor. And we really try to hone in on that. And I think that's helped with driving and engaging cross-functional programs with the rest of the business. They see us as that trusted advisor. We manage that relationship. Not only does our client see us as a trusted advisor, but we have that knowledge and understanding of our customer journey that we can share. And then we've aligned a lot of this with our company goals, integrating successfully as we bring in multiple platforms and data sets. We want to have our best work always, not only bringing in and integrating into our Waystar platform, but also on Totango and making sure that we have a unified customer journey in Totango. And growing concurrently, and so I think we, 5 years ago, probably had less than 20 CSMs, one VP and a handful of directors, and now we're pushing 60 CSMs, 6 directors, and 2 VPs of customer success. So a lot of growth there. We've added in a client insights team, and we've made a big investment to Totango because we believe in the importance of this. And lastly, building a strong foundation, client foundation, and being that trusted advisor to the rest of the organization. All right, now talking through creating a framework for success. And so this is a lot of lessons learned, us jumping into customer success, not really know what we're doing, and so talk through a little bit of that. When we first implemented Totango around 4 years ago, our CS team was brand new, and we're just starting to understand what our needs were. And we knew for sure that we needed a common client platform. Disparate data systems and not having a good vision into our customer journey, we knew this was important. And so along with our pillars of client success, customer success, client satisfaction on mind, unify and improve that client experience, client growth, accelerate upsell and cross-sell efforts, client retention, increase overall retention rate, and then our team member experience so we can scale our CSM resources. The problem we had here, complex client structures was huge. So in the healthcare world, we have hospitals and health systems acquiring other providers, and it's really complex for us to be able to understand that. And we also continue to add acquisitions of product lines. So not only did we have our legacy kind of bread and butter solutions, we were adding in a bunch of different technologies so we could have that unified and end-to-end platform for our customers. So that was a challenge for us. We really wanted to understand that customer journey and build unified workflows and playbooks. We just couldn't really do that where we were at that time. So this is a quote from one of our previous EVPs whenever we were implementing. And so the biggest differentiator for me is speed to value. From kickoff to go live was 8 weeks, and that is a phenomenal path from entering into partnership to realizing value in 90 days. And a lot of this was around building a customer-centric data platform. That was a new idea for us whenever we were coming in, and Totango really helped realize that. It enabled us, our CS team, to be agile and scale as the business grew, and it also allowed us to be creating transformational processes for our customer journey. So one of the big things it solved for was a consolidated view of our customer. And so, in our CRM, we had multiple accounts of one client, but as acquisitions came in and we would bring them into our CRM, just different healthcare providers consolidating, ones that we might have already had business with. And so our CSMs would have multiple views in our CRM of one client and not really a one working relationship. And so we needed that extremely bad. And so we did a lot of work with our CSM, Ella, who's here, and our engineer, Val, to create a singular view in Totango. And we were able to do that with a lot of work. And so we were able to have that control in our CRM to build out what we wanted that view to look like. But then in Totango, we had a single customer view. And so we could see all the products, all the businesses, the business lines that came up under it. But then we were able to create that working workflow. Empowered our CSMs with insight into the customers as a whole, and for our leadership too. I think it was kind of hard to see and understand our customer journey whenever it was disparate, different accounts. And so now we were able to have that. And so we were also able to implement new workflows that were previously unmanageable, even just engagement, touch points. Like, there's no way we could understand the customer journey and what kind of engagements we were having, or expect our CSMs to track that across multiple accounts in our CRM for one customer. So that was great for us to be able to have that. And then again, provided leadership with a better understanding of our customer's journey. All right, building universal client success programs. So as I mentioned, we were all kind of doing our own thing whenever it came to our client success workflows. And whenever we first went live with Totango, as we saw on that earlier slide, we were Zermed and Navicure with our legacy solutions. And we really built a lot of that with that in mind. So as we started making acquisitions, it was tough for our CSMs to adopt the new CSMs because they saw that as a tool that was to the legacy company. These are specific workflows to them. Totango's nice, I can see my accounts in there, but I don't really need to be in there. So once we started creating and making sure they understood the need for universal programs, it really helped with the user adoption, especially whenever that visibility was with the rest of our leadership. And so we understood that customer journey. And so this is actually in a slide that I do whenever I do training with our teams, kind of showing what are our universal workflows in Totango. One being client engagement, really understanding the interactions we have with our clients through touch points and what type of interactions they are too. Expansion, growth efforts, building campaigns and tasks and really aligning on those efforts has been great in Totango and for our CSMs to understand that. One of the first things we did whenever we implemented Totango was building a reference program. I'll talk more about that later as well. At-risk workflows, risk management, we'll get into some more of these into the detail in a little bit, and then contract renewals. So these are things that no matter what the product line that our CSMs are managing with our clients, these are still universal streamlined workflows that we have in Totango. So not only they help deliver on their goals, but this really did align with our focused areas that also aligned with our business objectives. So around client satisfaction, growth, and retention. So we can tie all these workflows to our business needs. And then leading to that, once we started seeing success in that, we started seeing adoption in that, and be able to show outcomes, business outcomes through these, it really helped this technology drive that cross-functional engagement through these workflows. All right, leveraging technology to engage cross-functional teams. So this is kind of our journey and how we're able to engage the rest of the organization and make them see the value of customer success and the success that we do have with our end clients. So first, growth. Talking through the reference program now. So I wanted to highlight some of the cross-functional teams that really we drive that interaction, so sales, marketing, client success. Whenever I first joined the client success team, before we had a software or anything, I think we used some sort of program out of our CRM to help manage some of the reference program. It was messy, it wasn't great. Since then, we probably have passed the reference program between marketing, between sales, several times. And we finally realized, again, part two, what we expected the CSM team. We're the trusted advisors. And so we knew that we needed to own this. We needed to drive this relationship. And so we implemented the reference program. We built, I don't think that was a success block out of the marketplace when we implemented, so we kind of built it from scratch. We're really proud of it. And so, again, whenever we had that in mind, we wanted to make sure it was scalable, and that would streamline those workflows, especially for the new acquisitions. So as soon as we get a new company and we bring in that team and that product line, we're able to throw them in here and start using the reference programs. We train the rest of the organization, sales and marketing, on the process around reference requests, and then we were able to see that and visualize that in Totango. We can easily track outcomes and successes via touch points to identify champions for case studies and for other uses. We're still working on being better at this, but it does give us opportunity to see what kind of usage it is and how often our clients are being used and what kind of lessons learned we're getting from that. Super excited about the new opportunities coming into Totango. One thing that we are working on doing is how can we track a reference activity and then correlate that to a closed deal one. And so I think I see a lot of opportunity once we start getting that into Totango, like how can we correlate that? How can we find those outcomes and really drive like, oh man, this client has served 4 references in the past year, and all of those led to closed won opportunities. So that's exciting. And now we're working to implement a strategic pipeline with sales. And so with the reference program, we've been very day-to-day, working requests and getting the sales and marketing needs. But we understand, it is a lot of strain on our CSMs, can be going to asking for reference requests and so forth. And so we have a new insights team member that is really heading that up to kind of not do just the day-to-day, but kind of think more big picture of how we can be more successful with the reference program. And one of that is driving that cross-functional engagement. I think we've really want to see our interaction with sales being a partnership. Not just, they want to use my client, here they go, sure, we'll talk to them. And so we're looking at trying to strategically align with that, to have regular cadence meetings with our sales teams to understand what's in the pipeline and what kind of references we need and what kind of product references or levels. And then we can start gauging that and tracking that into Totango so we have an understanding of what's coming, especially whenever we have like one-off requests and they're asking for a specific client, and we know and have that vision like, hey, we got this other big deal coming up, we're gonna save them for that. Next is product campaigns. Goes with our growth pillar, cross-functional teams, still sales, marketing, our product teams, and our client success teams. This is one thing that we're still working on to be better at. But one thing we have, there's another vendor in the healthcare space that does voice of customer feedback, and we partner with them. And one of the big things we've learned from our clients is that they don't understand our product mix, or they don't understand our product capabilities, or whenever new releases. And so we began starting to partner with our marketing team and product marketing on collateral so we can start engaging with our clients about what we do offer, and then also what are new releases coming down the road. I think too, even for our CSM team, we don't have that great visibility. So it is forcing a little bit to have that partnership with marketing and product so we understand what is coming down the pipeline. And then we can start sharing that with our customers as well, whether it's through a campaign or even just personalized outreach. So again, it's been a great partnership there. I have an example up here, product roadmap coffee chat, and this is something we did last year. And we were wanting to really drive registrations up for this. This is one of our first times we were going to start doing more of a broad talk and just open conversation about what we have and how we're connecting with our customers on that. And so they reached out to us, the marketing team's like, hey, you all help us out. We send out some campaigns and everything, and we were telling them, like, we can create these personalized campaigns in Totango from our CSMs, and we saw a great success with that. And so now I think they are reaching out to us more. How can we partner together so we can get better engagement with our clients with that personalized feel that we get from Totango? Now we're working to expand campaigns to the mid-market to help drive engagement. I think we implement Totango, more of our high-touch clients, and we're starting to understand, like, how can we, more of that digital space, more of that low touch, and where we don't have engagement. I think we have in Totango over 20,000 clients, and our team manages 350. So we're trying to see how can we drive that engagement with our rest of our customer base. And so this is one thing that I think we will be successful at, is if we continue to expand those campaigns to those clients to drive that engagement. And so we're going to start working more with our product marketing teams on how we can deliver that. Next, we'll focus on a couple workflows around retention and risk management. So if you were at the Leadership Summit earlier, our VP Mod the V talked specifically about risk management and the risk monster. And I think this is where we've seen a lot of success, especially driving engagement cross-functionally. I mean, it touches leadership, it touches finance, it touches sales, product, client success, our implementation teams. We had ways that we wanted to be able to identify risk outside of just, our CSMs emailing our manager like, hey, there might be some risks. And so we've done that a few different ways. We've done that through data-driven identifiers, and then also CSM-driven. So some of the CSM identifiers we use is CSM sentiment, but we've also implemented some new data attributes. So ones like stakeholder turnover, merger and acquisition, HIS, their health information system migrations, or competitive threat. So our CSMs can go in and update that into Totango, and then it automatically kicks off that at-risk workflow. And so we can start working on putting a plan in place. We do that also with our voice of customer, NPS workflows, product feedbacks. We can start using that to help indicate risk in Totango. And then some of the other data-driven, our usage through transaction volumes or other product-specific KPIs as indicators for potential risk. This has helped our CSMs deliver proactive save plans that have alignment and visibility on our retention strategy with measurable objectives. And so one thing that we've really heavily utilized is that plan section and our account view in Totango. It's one, just with our directors and our CSMs, whenever they're doing their one-on-ones, they can review this all the time, but it also helps our leaders. Whenever we know there's potential clients that are in risk and in our retention strategy, they can easily go into Totango and see what's going on and what that plan is and track that progress. And so those insights from Totango are shared with cross-functional teams to help manage risk. So we do regular cadence meetings with our leadership teams that drive a lot of cross-functional engagement, and we can review these and what we're doing to help save those. And this has led to, I think, 2021, we really focused on retention. That's whenever we really started to implement this workflow, this risk management workflow. And so our leadership put in a target goal for attrition rate at 6.6%, and we really focused on that with our CSMs and our CS leaders. And our actual attrition rate at the end of 2021 was 5.3%. So we were really proud of what we did there around our risk management workflows. Yeah. We had a CS meeting at the beginning of the year, first time in the pandemic. We got all of our CS team members together, and our chief integration officer was there and spoke, and he was talking about how it was one of the easiest board meetings they had at the beginning of the year, being able to show numbers like that. So. All right, next, contract renewals. Again, cross-functional teams around leadership, finance, sales, and client success. We did not have any of our contract information digitized, and we knew this is a workflow that we needed to implement with our CSMs. I mean, it really was a guessing game of when our renewals would be. I think we had contract information saved in PDFs and in our CRM, and unless you really knew that client and knew when to expect a renewal, we just had no workflow in place. So that was another success block that we built out at the time. I don't know if it was from the marketplace or if we built it from scratch, but we did a lot of initial work with our CSMs to go through that contract information, put it into Totango. And this has helped become a source of truth for us. For our CS team, but also organizational, nobody else really had visibility into that. And so Totango helped empower us to be able to give that insights to the rest of the organization. So like I said, no digital tracking of contract information. We implemented this renewal success block. So we digitized all of our contract data points, renewal dates, renewal terms, tons of other things that we put in there. And that helped give us creative, proactive success plays. And so whether it's, depending on our account segmentation, if it's 90 days prior, 180 days or so forth, we're able to start having our CSMs be more proactive in that and checking risk, checking health, checking their KPIs and making sure that we're going to be set up for success. And then we develop all sorts of new reports and dashboards. I put a screenshot up here of some of our metrics. We do see a rolling 90-day metrics. One of our insights managers puts all this together and report and sends this out on a monthly basis to our CS leaders. Gives us great insight to understand what we have and what kind of work and what the progress is that we are making. Another big thing, we have month-to-month contracts, and that's digital sign of risk. So this has helped us be able to identify those and start and put in more aggressive plans on how we can convert that into annual auto-renewal type of contracts. And as I mentioned already, this reporting does give visibility to our leadership team and other cross-functional teams to align on our retention efforts. All right, next, getting to client satisfaction, our NPS program. So this does really touch everybody in our organization. It's a big driver for our executive leadership team on our customer loyalty. And so, especially in our HS&H space, our enterprise space, over the past few years, we've really seen our response rate drop, our scores drop, and we're using another vendor to do our NPS surveys. We're still bringing in all that data into Totango on a monthly basis so we can document that and have that part of our customer journey in the view. But it was a lot of manual work, manual intervention to be able to have that work. So we started to test doing ad hoc NPS surveys. While we're still doing our regular cadenced surveys out of our other technology partner, we started to send out ad hoc requests and started playing around with, okay, let's send out, target some of our CSMs, and let's work on building some of these personalized campaigns, encouraging them to take part in this survey, and then we'd send it out. And we did start seeing a lot more response rate, greater success there. And so this last month, we actually transitioned for our HS&H client segmentation. We went away from that technology partner, and now we're doing all of our NPS surveys in Totango. For me, as an insights manager, I love it because it's all, everything's in Totango now. I don't have to work with this other technology partner. It's really consolidated it, took a lot of manual intervention for us. And then we do get that real-time close-the-loop process. So we do have success plays. As soon as that survey gets completed, detractors, passives, promoters, everything. Detractors will look at doing a personalized reach out, closing the loop with our CSMs and our directors. Passives, we automatically look and see, reach out, how can we get you to be a promoter? And then promoters as well, we see, especially we're working on driving up our reference program. If they're giving us a promoter score and they're not a reference yet, let's CSMs work and strategize on how we can get them to become a reference for us. And then with that real-time feedback loop, it helps us engage with all of our other team members with products, support, solution adoption. Solution adoption is our implementation team, onboarding team. It really does help knowing that, as again, we're the trusted advisor. We get that real-time feedback, and we can share that with the teams. Another thing I think I didn't mention on the risk, we'll talk about it a little bit too, is just I love that we can connect success blocks and outcomes. And so that's one thing too, is like with NPS especially, if we have a renewal coming up, and then we get a detractor or passive score. We see that in real time. We're able to make those correlations, and we're able to make our CSMs be more proactive and have that insights into the customer journey. All right, the last one I want to touch on is consulting, consultant teams project. We created a new consulting team, professional services, specifically in our HS&H space. And so our consulting team, I think there's 3 or 4 of them, had used, I think, 2 or maybe even 3 different project management technologies. And so in Q2 of this year, we built out a brand new success block for the consulting team, and they are ecstatic. They love it. And so it's been fun building that out and creating a new success block around that. So not only do they have customized workflows and that they manage their projects in Totango, they get to see real-time insights into client health, engagement, and risk. So as they're working through their stages of their consulting project, all that automation, the CSM view into there, the consulting view in there, they really can partner and work together to have a successful client outcome. Another thing that we're excited, we're not quite there, but we're working on proactively identifying potential needs for consultants during optimization. So our implementation team, they hand us clients, transition them to us. And while they're in that monitoring and stabilization phase, it's going to be easier for us to kind of work together with the consulting team to see potential needs of maybe they aren't quite where they need to be in their usage, or their KPIs aren't quite where they need to be. We can start to engage the customer as they're coming to transition to our client success team about potential professional services needs. So it does give us that full view. And again, too, for leadership, our CS leadership, they love being able to come in here and see that consolidated customer journey view. All right, we'll wrap up with some key takeaways. So creating a framework for success, and this is a lot just lessons learned for us, and we're still doing this. We're still working on this and understanding our customer journey. Has been big. Again, much of our build out whenever we first implemented Totango, we just didn't understand that, and so we've continued to evolve. And we just met with Ella 2 weeks ago, talking about how we can understand our customer journey better and how can we implement that in Totango. So I think that's important for creating that framework for success. Next, leveraging data and technology to think outside the box. Again, we did not have that view of a customer at the highest level, that working relationship level. And so, honestly, I don't think we even realized that we needed it whenever we kicked off with Totango and we were doing our kickoff sessions with Ella. But we understood that there's a working relationship and that our success plays need to be at a working relationship. We had to consolidate that. And so just thinking outside the box, how can you use this technology to set up your customer success team better? And then build your framework to be agile and scalable. And so we knew that from day one that we were going to continue to make acquisitions. And so we need to be able to put in some frameworks and some workflows in place, those universal workflows, so we can drive user adoption. Building universal CS programs, and so again, align your goals with the overall business. That can drive value for the rest of the organization when they can easily be seen and connected. One thing too, as I mentioned, with that amazing work we did with our attrition rate, we were able to align that with the business need, implemented workflows there that really focused on that and see successes. Similar to agile and scalable, design your workflow to be flexible too. We initially built a lot of our workflow into Totango with our legacy Zermed Navicure product lines in mind. And that was what became tricky whenever we brought in new CSMs, is this is a tool specifically for your legacy company. I don't need to use this. This doesn't make sense. And so as we started to build out those universal workflows and made them flexible, it really helped drive that user adoption. And then emphasize those outcomes too. I think once our team members understood that our leadership team comes into Totango and sees these outcomes and wanted to know what the scorecards are and what those KPIs are and how they align with our goals, So we want to make sure our customers are on board with that too. And if we're managing that relationship, we really want to drive home those outcomes to help that user adoption. All right, then lastly, leveraging technology to engage cross-functionally, creating scorecards for client success and the business. And so I think initially we created a lot of our scorecards and our segments and reports very specific to customer success. And it was great for us, but I don't think that the rest of the organization saw the value in that. So whenever we were able to have that more of that view of how what's the work we're doing align with not only our customer success goals, but the business goals, and putting that in a single view in our scorecards has been really helpful in driving that cross-functional engagement. Correlate the insights between your programs. And so this is what I was talking about a little earlier with our risk management. We were able to, have that view and those type of workflow cross into our NPS workflows, cross into our contract renewal workflows. And it really helped drive that value for our leadership teams, for our CSMs teams to understand how what we're doing kind of is all part of this customer journey and making our clients successful. And then lastly, ensuring the outcomes in your customer journey is accessible. And that don't mean just, able to log in to Totango and see it. Sometimes we get into the weeds with our client success workflows and what we're doing, and it's very, put to our customer success team mind, but making those outcomes understandable for the rest of the organization has been impactful for us as well. All right, thank you.